I don't know. It's been a journey, but if I could tell anybody, like, you have more strength in you than you ever knew. Like, even whenever you think you can't handle something and you're so sick and weak, like, just getting up and taking that walk. Sometimes I would just get up and take a walk outside and I would just be like, thank you, God, for giving me the strength to do this because right now it feels like I could just not walk.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 29 of the On the Runs podcast. We are coming to you virtual today from some very random places. I am sitting in my truck outside the Manchester airport because I'm waiting for my daughter to get out of dance class. And I was going to do this in the parking lot, Erika, but there was a guy with a leaf blower going around at 6:45 in the evening. And I'm like, it's dark out. What are you doing? And then I thought the last time I recorded in the podcast, we had to keep moving because the landscaping crew was out there. How are you?
Shamrock half day.
Yeah.
I am good. I am tired. It's been a busy weekend of moving and getting up early. So I'm struggling, but I'll do it for you.
Well, we got to get this one in. We said this is totally random. It's a Tuesday night. I don't know the last time we recorded on a Tuesday night. Typically a Sunday night or a Monday night podcast here. We get out the next day. But you were traveling. I was camping. It was a long weekend. So much happened this weekend. We had Scott Black at Kona.
Yep.
I just got off the phone with him, too, by the way. He was eating a Big Mac, so good luck to him. He hasn't had fast food in like 20 months. He's still in Hawaii.
Is his stomach feeling better now?
Oh, well.
So, because I heard there was some issues.
I don't know the details. He spared me the details.
We need the exclusive. We need the exclusive.
He will be back next week, so mark your calendar.
Great.
And we will get with him, and then we'll get that out. And then you went to Chicago. How was Chi-Town?
I did go to Chicago. Oh, my God. Epic as usual. It's my third time visiting, and I swear to God, if they let me come back, I'll be back every single year.
Well, did he do anything to maybe make them not let you go back?
Oh, no, it's just the lottery thing. I mean, as long as I have to keep entering that lottery, it's not up to me if I get to go or not.
So should we should talk about Chicago now then and not after. Let's do it.
I mean, sure. I'm down to talk about it.
So tell me, because I just finished editing our interview, you made a goal to meet Jackie at the Bean. Tell me you came through on your goal.
So hard. Unfortunately, I did not. So
what happened?
We tried to meet up actually quite a few times over this weekend. The first one was Friday. We both happened to be at the expo at the same time. But I was like trying to text her through Instagram and I'm like, why isn't this working? Like I wouldn't get the notification. So like I would keep checking Instagram and I got nothing. Keep checking. And I was like, maybe she's just not seeing it. And literally as I'm walking out through like the security gates, I see she's like, oh, I'm at this booth. And I'm like, shit, I missed her. So that was a missed opportunity. And then Saturday, so I had that the 5K in Chicago and we were traveling with Brandon and his parents. So we just by the time we all got together, we were going to go out for brunch. It was at least like 45 minutes to an hour wait everywhere we tried. And we're like, oh, my God. So I'm like, Jackie, is there any way you're going to be in the area like the Bean early? And I was just a little bit too early to meet the 11 o'clock like time that we had said. But even though I didn't get to see Jackie, did I tell you who I did meet? And it was super awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I got to meet the badass Lady Gang founder herself, Kelly Roberts. Oh, my God. She's such a sweet human. And she talked to me and I tried not to be like a freak, but it was so cool to get to meet her.
How did that happen? Did you see her or did you know she was going to be there? Was she just like walking by and you're like, oh, my God, Kelly?
Well, it was kind of. So she had posted that she was doing a shakeout run with the Badass Lady Gang at 10 a.m. I show up at like 10:20 and I'm like, holy shit, she's still here. And she was just with a bunch of awesome ladies. And I just go over and I'm like, hi, Kelly. I introduced myself, just trying to be nice. And then I'm talking to some of the other ladies, like pumping up the Chicago Marathon because it really is something special because it was a lot of their first times. And so we were just chatting a little bit and yeah, she just still happened to be there, but I missed Jackie by just a few minutes.
I'm so bummed. I am bummed, but you know what?
I am too.
It gives us a reason to meet her again, to try to go out and find her. She's not that far away. She's in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like New York and Pennsylvania is in between us. We could do a race there. She could finally come to the Northeast. She's talked about it. When her friend's ACL heals up, you'll hear about that. They talked about, doing a marathon anywhere, and you suggested a few. So that would be sweet.
I still haven't done West Virginia yet, so I am game to go down there too.
That's it. That's the ticket.
Yep.
West Virginia with Jackie, marathon. Let's make it happen. Well,
please.
Let's talk.
I apologize, Jackie. I know we tried so hard to meet up, but Chicago was just bustling, and it was so hard to actually hammer out those plans.
All right,
next time, promise.
All right, before we get to Jackie, I want to hear more about Chicago and the whole weekend and how it went. And I know one other person was there. I don't think you got to meet her, but I am Space Cadet.
Oh, I missed her too. She was doing a meetup at the Bean with a few other people. One of them was actually another pro compression ambassador. His name is Milo. But they were at 2:00 and we had like an architecture boat tour to do. And there was just so much stuff we tried to cram in. So I missed out on seeing them. I was kind of bummed too.
So wait a second. You went to the Bean.
Yes.
What was your reason going to the Bean?
It was right next to where we were trying to have breakfast. And we put our name in and we're like, well, let's take a walk because we're just waiting for breakfast. So we went over to the Bean early. It was like a 5-minute walk maybe from where we were trying to eat breakfast.
Okay, so you weren't like going up for a meet and greet. You're just like, we're in the area. Let's go. And you knew you were going to try to meet Jackie. You just were hoping to meet her earlier.
Yeah.
Well,
just barely missed her, but yeah. Other than that, we had a gorgeous weekend. Weather was absolutely perfect. It was like a little bit chilly in the mornings, but warmed right up. It wasn't too windy. I mean, it was a fantastic weekend.
So Chicago did not live up to the Windy City name.
Depends where you were. If you were close to Lake Michigan, yeah, it was pretty windy. But other than that, no, it wasn't bad.
All right, cool. How was your race?
Dude, I had the most amazing race. I started in the faster corral. I was in Corral D, Wave 1, and I was just kind of swept away with the faster runners. Was running maybe like 8.5, feeling really good. I was waiting for my hip to start hurting. It never did. So I was super pumped, and I just kind of like ran on feel. I walked some of the water stations just to give my legs a break, and then I picked it up again. And at one point I just saw, I'm like, oh my God, could I break 4 again? And I just kind of like kept picking it up. And I did manage to break 4 for the second time.
Yes.
Just barely. But
second time ever.
Second time ever.
Yes.
First was London, second time is Chicago. And people think I'm weird for saying this, but I think Chicago has better crowd support than Boston. Just because maybe I had the shitty Boston year. I know I had the shitty Boston year, and maybe the crowds didn't come out in full force. But Chicago, there's maybe like 2 spots out of the whole course where there's like maybe only 1 or 2 people deep on the sidelines. It is incredible, the crowd support there.
Well, cool. I think you got to give Boston another chance.
I would love to. I would need to work on it. I'm getting there. But I mean, Chicago is just something special, and it holds my heart right now. So it's great.
If you remember our very first podcast when we were sitting around the table and we did a little get to know Erika, and one of the questions was, what's your favorite race?
I did say Chicago, and it stands to this day. It really does.
All right. Lived up to the hype. Well, that's awesome. The stories, the pictures you sent were pretty great. I wish we had
waiting on more pictures.
Well, I wish we had a little more content throughout the weekend, but we'll work on that.
It's hard to do that when you're trying to entertain people at the same time and also trying to do really well in the marathon. So I did well for you in Berlin. Chicago, not so much, but I'll make up with it with some more posts coming up soon.
All right, cool. So the hip feels great. A couple days later?
Feels great. No pain. I mean, I have the regular muscle soreness, but I mean, we walked 9 miles yesterday. That's Monday. After the race, I was moving around just fine. The The running gods were smiling down on me.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Sure.
Continue to go to PT.
I should.
Just
I
because
have all the tools. I just got to do it.
Just because it's fixed and feels good doesn't mean you shouldn't keep doing the PT. Maybe add a little more strength.
I never stopped.
Connor from Nashua PT, right?
Yeah, but he gave me the tools and I never actually did stop. So I'll just keep it going.
Keep
He
it up.
definitely helped.
Yeah,
Yep, he helped me.
We got to stay healthy. We got to stay on track and keep each other
accountable.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We got to stay on track and keep each other accountable. You got to tell me to lighten up a little bit on the belly here. And I got to tell you to keep doing your PT. Keep on top of each other. I don't have a race right now to motivate for, so I need to sign up for one in the next week or two. Well, I got the 5K for Jaye.
Yes, you do.
And so
I'll throw some ideas your way. I'll see if I can find something on a race calendar.
yeah, let's do it. So let's get into part 2 of our Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Sure.
Cool. So let's talk about Jackie, even though we already talked about Jackie in Chicago, but let's talk about Jackie real quick and tell everyone what to expect.
Oh, it was such a pleasure talking to Jackie. And I am still so bummed that we didn't get to meet up in Chicago. But Jackie is a HER2 positive breast cancer survivor whose love for running helped get her through her ordeal with cancer. And she's just such a pleasure to talk to.
Top 3 interview
Definitely.
of our podcast. I know we're only 29 episodes in, but this is a top 3. It's a top 3 because the way we connected right away, we didn't even talk about breast cancer for the first 30 minutes.
That just goes to show you how easygoing she was and willing to talk to us about anything. We loved it.
She was an open book and she did not spare any details. I think you guys are going to love this. So let's get to it.
Yes.
So everyone, we hope you enjoy our interview of Jackie and we'll see you on the other side.
But first, a word from Nicole and Justine.
Hi, I'm Justine.
And hi, I'm Nicole. We're hosting a 5K for Jaye, October 23rd in Chichester. Find us on Facebook or donate on Venmo.
Our next guest on the runs is from Morgantown, West Virginia. She's a school teacher and a mother of 3. She's run a total of 1 ultramarathon, 17 half marathons, 4 marathons, with another one coming up soon. That will be with you, Erika.
I'm so excited. Are you? You must be pumped.
Yes. So excited.
She is also a HER2 positive breast cancer survivor, and she's joining us to share with her stories. So, Jackie Hellyer, we are so excited to have you. Welcome to On the Runs.
I'm excited too. Thanks for having me.
What is going on in West Virginia?
So it was rainy all weekend. It feels like winter came just out of nowhere. But today was a little bit of sun, which was nice. Not really much is happening here. Fall, our leaves are starting to change, but I'm sure yours is starting to change a little bit more in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
They're getting there.
Yeah, we're almost at peak. I was up in Maine over the weekend at a wedding, and it was a little ahead of us, and it was nice to see.
That's why I want to go to Maine. I've never really been northeast.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, I've only traveled like south because where do you go in the summer? If you're from West Virginia, you go to Myrtle Beach.
No
So
way.
That's
So
where my parents just moved to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
used to live in North Carolina, and there's a lot of people there from the West Virginia, the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, and they called it the gas tank move. They all packed up their vans and they filled up the tank with gas and they drove until it was empty, and that's where they moved.
Oh.
Yeah. Myrtle Beach, like you can go on 1 tank of gas from West Virginia to, somewhere down in North Carolina before you have to fill up.
Do you have like family in Myrtle Beach, or is that just like a spot that you like to go to?
My husband has family in Wilmington in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would always like visit them in Wilmington and go to Wrightsville Beach and then go on down to Myrtle Beach.
Wilmington has a nice Ironman.
Good to know.
I'm into the
For
Ironmans.
anybody but me.
I'm into the triathlons, but I want her to do one.
I kind of have a funny story about that. We went to a wedding in Wilmington before COVID, and it was in October, and we were coming back through, and it said like the Wilmington Ironman, and I looked at my husband. I was like, "Now I want to do an Ironman." He's
Yes.
insane.
Have you ever done a triathlon?
No, I'm not a strong swimmer.
Me neither.
That's the thing.
I thought I was going to drown, and I was watching my wife do one, and I'm like, if this person's doing this triathlon on a Huffy and swimming, I can do it
Right.
too. Right. And then 2 years later, I'm doing an Ironman. And I'm like, I can't believe I did that. But the
Oh, you
swim,
did an
yeah, I did one in Canada, actually, more north of us. Yeah. It was amazing. But enough about me.
No, that's okay.
If you ever want to do an Ironman, I'll talk your ear off, and we can do one together. There's one in Virginia on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
When is it? Like what time of year?
It would be spring. I think it's April, May, or June.
Okay. Give me like 5 years to train.
Okay, yeah.
I'll come cheer you guys on. That's the best I could do.
She'll be our Sherpa.
I can do that. Yes, I'll be the Sherpa.
So you were just, I think, in Michigan doing a Ragnar relay.
Yes. So it's kind of funny because I'm in an Instagram challenge group, and we started this group during COVID, all strangers. And so we always joked about, oh, we're all going to get together and run a race. And, we're going to meet up somewhere in the middle, which ended up not being in the middle. So Kristen and I, my running partner, we signed up for Chicago, and she ended up tearing her ACL. I ended up having more radiation than what I thought I needed for my treatment. And so we tried to defer Chicago. And in my head, I was like, they'll defer us. We have, great excuses. You are having surgery. I'm going through this treatment. And so whenever I thought I could defer it, or we could defer it, I agreed to do this Ragnar in Michigan, thinking that I would just do that and not Chicago. We could do it next year. Well, then Chicago was not deferrable, and I had already agreed to this Ragnar 2 weeks before the marathon. So that's my story. It was a great experience. I don't know. It was fun. It was fun meeting people that I've talked to for 2 years on Instagram and actually getting to know them and meet them in person. They're really awesome people. And the Ragnar is a whole different type of race.
He's a newbie too. I just got him into a Ragnar this year. That's his first one.
Just the week before yours, I did Reach the Beach with her and her team. So everyone on her team, I also knew through Instagram.
That's so cool.
That was it. I had no clue. And I would show up. I showed up to the house, and this one girl goes, I know that voice. Because she listens to the podcast, and she goes, "You're Eric from On the Runs," and I'm like, "Yep." And she's that was the leader of the whole thing. That was Jesse, your captain there.
So where was yours at?
We started. It's Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, and then it went to Hampton Beach. So yeah, it's 200 miles of hills basically. I don't know what Michigan's like, but
it's called Reach the Beach.
It was flat. Ours was kind of, it was like a little rolling hills, but I'm from West Virginia, so their hills are a little bit more rolling than ours. Ours are more like little mountains,
We know the mountain part.
Yeah, I would say, I think the few times I drove through West Virginia, it reminded me of New Hampshire every time.
Did it really?
Yes. I would typically drive up the southern part, I guess you would call it, up 77 and going through your capital and a few other areas. Yeah. The airport there is wild because the runway ends at a cliff.
Oh my. So
I think it's Charleston, West Virginia. If you look at Google Maps, it looks flat. But when you're driving on the highway and this plane's coming in, it lands on the cliff. It's comparable to Boston, because in Boston, have you ever flown into Logan?
No, I have not.
You think you're doing a water landing.
Oh, wow.
And so you're coming down and all you see is water. And then all of a sudden the wheels touch down and it's ground. It's just like that. So this West Virginia airport to me is wild because it's a cliff.
I've never flown out from there. We always fly out from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Ragnar, I don't the staying up all night and pretty much all day is hard. That's the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
What running shifts did you have?
I was the last leg, so 6 and then 12 and then 24.
So wait, was this a Ragnar Ultra 6-person team?
Well, wait, hold on. No, there's 12 people. I was 6, 12, 24. Is that right?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
How
12,
many?
24, 26?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yes. We had this team of 12 as well.
Okay, so we had a team of 11. So I ended up picked up 2 more legs.
Oh, wow. So yes,
And
an
then,
ultra. You did the ultra.
so then picked up 2 legs, and then somebody else picked up the 3rd leg that the girl was supposed to have.
Nice job. Yeah, that's no joke doing. So yeah, you had 5 legs then out of wait, just 3.
Yeah, so I ended up running, it was like really close to 21 miles, I think it was 21 or 22.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was fun cheering everybody on and like decorating our vans, and we ran up by Lake Michigan, so it was really pretty.
What was your team name?
Perfect Strangers.
Nice.
Excellent. How did you guys decorate your vans? Was it just with chalk markers, or did you have inflatables?
Yeah, it was chalk markers, but we put, do you remember the Real World? The slogan, like, perfect, like, living in a, we put something about, I can't even remember. I wrote it on there, but I have bad chemo brain.
12 strangers living in a van. Something. I can totally picture what it's supposed to be like.
It's on my Instagram page, I think. I can't remember if I put it on there or not, but
we'll check it out.
It was fun.
So do you like that?
I would go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, do you like doing these kind of challenges, or are you more of just a straight up race person?
I think I'm more of a straight up race person. The lack of sleep is hard on me.
Oh yeah, that takes a toll on everybody. The Ragnars,
right.
As fun as they are, it is hard to overcome that part.
The entire day after was just like a full day of recovery. I made a joke to my wife saying, we should make some TikTok or reel of me being like, hey, do you mind if I do this race? I'll be home by like 12 o'clock. And then the rest of the day is just me sleeping and passing out and taking naps on the couch.
Yeah. It was tiring because I flew home on Sunday and then went back to work on Monday. So yeah, I came home Sunday, and then my girls had powder puff football practice. So I was just like jumping like right back into life.
Sounds like
it was hard.
He had what? Cheerleading practice the next day?
I had cheerleading practice the next morning. Like we're talking, they're tinies. So they're the first game of the day.
Oh man. Yeah. So no rest time.
No rest time. And I'm chasing around 2 more little ones while I'm watching my daughter do cheerleading.
Sounds wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So, my had to take my son to a basketball. He gets basketball lessons or whatever, and then I took my girls to Powder Puff, and I'm like, oh man, of all days.
And so you talked about work. What do you do for work?
I'm a teacher. I teach 4th grade.
That's awesome.
So I'm an actress and a nurse and a mom for 8 hours to 20 kids, and a counselor, a therapist.
You do it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a rock star. That's what you are.
It's fun. So I enjoy it.
All right. So why don't we jump into this? How did you start running? Like, what got you into the sport? And was this your only sport? Did you do any other sports growing up?
Okay, so just growing up, I kind of was in a little bit of everything, but not really. I didn't really stick to one thing, if that makes sense. Like I just tried different things. And then I always like walked and biked and ran, but never really did races or anything. It was just, I just enjoyed it. And that's, in college, I just remember like working out at the facilities and running with groups of friends. And then I had my daughter, and then I became a Girls on the Run coach.
Oh, awesome.
Like right after, well, I volunteered. I shouldn't say I was a coach right at first, but I volunteered with these girls, and they inspired, as much as like I inspired them, they inspired me to start running. I crossed the finish line with these, 9 and 10-year-old girls who were just like rocking it. I was like, I could do this. This is a lot of fun. Like just the race day energy, even on a 5K, 10K, halves, fulls, there's just so much energy, and you just feel like you conquered the world sometimes whenever you cross that finish line. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of 5Ks, and then I had a friend that I ran with him, some, and he was like, you should really try a half. And I was like, oh my, 13 miles, like I'll die. So I tried a half, and I just remember whenever I finished, I was like, when's the next one? It was like an addiction that just started like right off the bat. And so my friend Kristen actually came into the picture like a year or 2 later. She got a job at our school as a counselor, and I ask her to start coaching girls or volunteering at Girls on the Run, because being a counselor, you're close knit with a lot of girls.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was in April, and I was like, hey, you want to do a half marathon? And she was like, sure, when is it? And I was like, first weekend in June. She was like, all right, let's do this. And then that's whenever it started. Like, we just started running on the weekends, and then we kind of were on the same pace, and it was a lot of fun. Like, so she just became, soul sisters or whatever. So we ran all of these races. We ran Pittsburgh together. We did another marathon in West Virginia. It was a nighttime marathon together. And then I ended up getting breast cancer, and then she had sympathy pains and tore her ACL. Just
Those sympathy pains.
Sympathy pains, and she tore her ACL. No, she was playing basketball at school, teachers versus fifth grade.
Whoa.
I know, in front of the whole community. First 30 seconds of the game, she went up to make a layup and came down wrong on her knee.
Oh, no.
Right?
Poor
Yeah,
thing.
so like we signed up for Chicago, having these huge plans to run it together. And so she can't run, but she's going with me.
That's great.
Yeah. And we're running under a breast cancer foundation. It's called the Lynn Sage Breast Cancer Foundation.
All right. That's awesome. We'll share that.
Yes, Lynn Sage Breast Cancer Foundation. The website's actually on my IG profile page, or whatever that thing's called, like where your handle is.
Yeah, the profile. Yeah, that's your.
I saw it on your bio.
That's in a bio.
Yes, I saw it in your bio. Yeah, I'm just thinking in my mind. I'm thinking fifth grade versus teachers, and she tore her ACL.
I know.
30 seconds in.
Yeah, the weird thing is we did like a 10-mile. It was called like the ice. I can't remember, the winter goat race or something near Pittsburgh, and the trails were completely ice. She fell like 3 times, and it was like a trail race, so it was like snowy and icy. And then like a few weeks later, she goes and she plays basketball and just comes down wrong. I'm like, I don't understand life.
Oh no!
Oh man, that's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
That is the worst. It's like a full year recovery.
Right. Yeah, she had surgery in May, and she pretty much had to teach herself how to walk again.
Oh no. That just happened to my sister, and I'm really worried for her now. She just had surgery last week.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
She tore her ACL and then had to have meniscus repair or something, where they had to like take a piece of her hamstring and thread it in her bone. I can't remember.
That is exactly what just happened to my sister. Like, not even kidding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she just had like, I think they used, was it cadaver something for her meniscus?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. It was a little iffy, but oh man. So I hope her recovery goes smooth, and I also hope my sister's goes smoothly.
Me too. I'll be thinking about her. That's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
It stinks. My dog actually tore both her ACLs now that I think about it.
Oof.
Like, we're talking 10 years ago, but like she had to get both of those fixed about 6 months apart at a time. That was a rough go.
I can't imagine.
It was also 10 grand. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's a lot.
Poor thing.
But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of how you got into running. Tell me a little bit about Girls on the Run, because I just learned about this recently, actually, and you're the second one to mention it in the past month.
Mm-hmm. So Girls on the Run is just an after-school program where girls come and you teach like a mini lesson about self-esteem, self-confidence, loving yourself, loving how you're different, loving your body, friendship issues, because we know that all girls and boys have friendship issues, just coping strategies, team building exercises, and you do these mini lessons for about a half hour, and then you run for a half hour. And that's what we do for I think it's like an 18-week program.
That's
That's
even
awesome.
better than I thought. I was trying to explain it to him, and I thought it was just like getting girls into running, but it's so much more than that. I didn't realize it was like a self-confidence thing, and it made, that's so awesome.
Yeah, and at the end we have a 5K, and before COVID, because I didn't teach last year because I was going through cancer treatments, but before COVID there was like 1,200 people, 1,200 girls at the race.
Wow.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. It was, I think it's like 14 or 15 counties in West Virginia, and we all just congregate and have one big race.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fantastic. That's amazing.
You
That's
gonna
like
get your daughter into it?
Well, yeah, she's in first grade now, so I think
Okay, so you have third.
you have to be in third.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm sure there's a program like that around here. We get her into something called Kids on the Run, I think, right now, or it's some kids running program where when she was little, she would do like 100 yards, but now she's in the quarter mile, and they run around a football field, not on a track. They run on a grass field.
Yeah.
And she enjoys it and enjoys it with her friends. She's slow, but I told her that's fine, but she's mad. She goes, "I want to win, right?" And the best thing though was her first year, she would never really finish in the top 3, but we showed up every week. And on the last week, so there was a point system, she acquired enough points to be 3rd overall in the standings, which we knew nothing. We didn't even know they were doing standings. They give out your medals, and then they say, and now for our top 3. And we're like, well, we never even finished in the top 3. And it was the first name they called. 3rd place overall, Adeline Knutinen. And we're like, we're all shocked. None of us can believe it. And Adeline was the most excited person. She got a big trophy and had something else. And she's like on the podium taking pictures. And none of us knew.
My daughters both race in cross country in middle school. That's fun. You know, they compete against each other, and then it's awkward when the youngest one.
Oh boy.
Well, just tell the older one that, you know, she's lighter, so she's a little quicker right now, but soon you'll be stronger and you'll beat her.
That's right. That's right. She's the youngest one's won three times, and it's been by less than 45 seconds each time.
Between the two of them.
Very close.
Between the two of them, yeah. I'm like, you guys are competing against other schools, not each other.
No, siblings, that's what we're like. I had a brother. We're the same.
I was joking with my oldest daughter. She's 13 and the middle one is 11. But I was like, they're going to be both on the same basketball team coming up. And I was like, you know, Allie, Mia beat you in cross country. What if she's back? Because it was after she had just lost to her sister. She was like, bad timing, Mom, because it was like right after a race. She's giving me a hug and she's so upset. And I was like, Allie, what if Mia beat you at basketball next? She's like, bad timing. I'm like, I know, it was a joke.
The love between siblings, the love and the competition. I love it.
Competitive. Competitive.
I now call my brother asking for deals on ski equipment and stuff and watches because he gets a sweet discount. So now I'm kissing up.
There you go. There comes a time, right?
Right.
Perks.
Yeah.
The perks. So cool. So I want to build a timeline. This time you started running, and when you did the Girls on the Run and you signed up for your first half marathon, when was that?
Let's see. So Girls on the Run started in 2011, and then I had my daughter in 2009, one in 2011. So 2012, I think around 2012, my first half was 2014, I think. Wait, it might have been, I don't know. I had my son in 2014, so it may have been 2015.
And when did you meet your friend Kristen and start running with her?
2018.
And that kind of developed a pretty big bond and friendship between the two of you? Yeah.
So we ran Morgantown, the Deckers Creek, then we ran another half, and I thought we did really well. It was like we finished the half in 2 hours or an hour and 59. I don't know. But 2 hours or an hour and 59. I can't remember. But I told her before we raced, I was like, if we finished at 2 hours or give or take a little bit there, I'm signing up for a marathon. And she was like, okay, I'll sign up with you. Well, then we did. And then I went home and looked. I was like, there's a marathon next weekend. She was like, no way. And I did it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it.
So wait, you just jumped into a marathon like that? Oh my gosh.
It was a bad idea. Like I did it. And then afterwards I couldn't walk for like, my hip flexors hurt so bad. I had trouble walking for like a week.
Oh no.
My shoes were so old. I had a hole where my toe was.
Oh my God.
It was so not planned.
So you've done other marathons since then. Ones you've trained for, I would hope. Yes.
After that one, and whenever I couldn't hardly walk, like walking into the building, because that race was on a Sunday, so I went back to school on a Monday. She looked at me. She was like, at first I felt like I should have done it, but now I'm really glad I didn't. I'm kind of like not the planner. I'm spare of the moment.
I love your style. I'd be the same way.
I feel you. I tend to do that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, it's like, this one's coming up. Let's do it. Cool. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds good in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun, and you get a medal and sometimes like a sweet zip up or pullover or something.
Right.
We'll suffer the consequence after. That's fine.
You do it for the swag.
And then after I ran Marshall, because she didn't run it with me, I got like so sad. Like I was like crying. And so like I Googled it and it said like you can have the marathon blues. So I was like, one way to fix it, we got to sign up for a race.
The marathon blues. You
real.
ever get those?
Usually I have so many stacked up, but by the time I'm done, I'm like, yes.
So
I need a break.
she has a calendar of all her races. When I'm one race at a time, and I'm like, okay, this race just happened, and my mind goes into, I have to find another, or else that's it. I get the marathon, or I get the race blues, because if I don't have a race that I'm motivated to train for, I get lazy. And
yes, me too.
And that's what it is.
Me
it's
too.
the marathon blues. It's the first time I heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Google it. It's a thing.
We're going to Google it and we're going to play it on the pod. We do that sometimes. We have a lot of fun. Google, hey, Google, what's the marathon blues?
According to Runner's World, post-race depression signs include feeling a little lost, experiencing a lack of motivation to run, yearning for something to look forward to, feeling eager to set a new goal, feeling down, antisocial, sad, or disappointed, even if you hit your goal.
Insert answer
It's when
here.
you cry, sign up for a race.
So 2018 is when all this is happening. And if I remember right, when did COVID happen?
COVID was 2020.
Yeah.
Early 2020.
So I think your diagnosis was before that, right?
My diagnosis was 2021.
Oh, it was the year after. Okay, yeah, my timeline.
So we ran Marshall, and then we both signed up for Pittsburgh. And then, so I went Marshall, Pittsburgh, Morgantown. I ran 3 marathons in less than a year.
Mm-hmm. Atta girl.
And then we did Moonlight on the Falls. And then Chicago will be 5.
Nice.
You said you ran an ultra? Which one was your ultra?
So we did the Yeti, 24-hour Yeti. Ultra.
Awesome.
You've done a Yeti.
I do enjoy the Yeti challenges. Those are hard.
So I don't know if is that a real ultra?
I mean, it's a virtual one, but I count that as an ultra. Absolutely. Because you're still running the miles. Yeah. You're getting no sleep. It is work. It is a lot of work.
That's something where you do like 5 miles every 5 hours, right? Along those lines, somewhere in there.
It's 4 hours, right?
Yeah, I think you have to do six chunks of 5 miles every 4 hours.
I remember when you did it, because she did it and she started at like 3 a.m.
I just picked a time. I was like, I think I did it at 2 p.m. and then I was like, hey, you around for the 6 p.m.?
Oh, Jackie, let me tell you this. I ran one of her legs and she was the grumpiest I've ever seen her.
He took me on a trail. I was like, no.
She doesn't like running. It's a rail trail, but it's not paved. And she has never been so grumpy where me and my friend, we just ran ahead of her and we left her behind. Like, not forever, but just like, we're going to keep going and we'll see you at the end of the trail, because she was just
I was just behind and being like, grumble.
She was in a mood.
Well, that was when I was starting to get tired and hungry. And then I was like, oh, I still have like 4 more of these to do. This sucks.
Right. You have lack of sleep and you're hungry. Like, you can just turn into somebody you're not.
Mm-hmm. But yes, I absolutely count those. Because you're putting in the work. It's still running the miles.
And if you ever want to run like a 12-hour ultra or 24, She's getting the experience. If you need a tip or two, don't ask me, ask her.
We should put you in touch with Michaela too, because actually Michaela's in West Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You ever heard of
Where's she-
Michaela Schremshock?
no.
Harper's
That's in-
Ferry, West Virginia.
Harper's Ferry. Gotcha.
Yeah, she's
better. She's way better than me.
Oh, she's a badass. She just ran London over the weekend, and that's
Oh,
like nothing to her because that's just 26.2. She runs like these 100-mile. She ran 3 ultras in 3 weekends just past year.
Holy smokes.
Right. We had her on a couple episodes ago, maybe episode 24.
Yes, that's the right number.
We're just talking earlier. We can't remember what episodes are what.
Right. I'll have to check it out. That's impressive. I don't know how people do it and like they don't pull like a hamstring or like a quad or a glute muscle or like your calves. I don't know how people don't get injured.
You will enjoy this because she has quite some stories. You will enjoy it.
And I haven't quite figured out the don't get injured part yet either. So
Yeah. Because like you can strength train and stuff, but it's like you never know how a race is going to go.
mm-hmm.
You think you got it all figured out, and it just something can just show up out of nowhere, and you're like, oh man, here we go.
Yep, absolutely.
I've been through it many of times, and I'm like,
Right.
I've never felt this at all during my training. What is going on?
Mm-hmm. Basically,
Yeah, I'm good at like the whole exercise part, but it's my nutrition that just is not good. I don't know. I can't get it together.
You and I are so alike.
I haven't
Are
nailed
we
it
really?
either.
In fact, the three of us are so
I
alike.
haven't nailed that. I love Twizzlers too much, and
Well, I love Twizzlers too, but I think Twizzlers are fine, like especially at a race. I have problems like I love pizza. You were telling me earlier where you were at the drive-thru, and I was like, I'll take a number 1 with no cheese,
McDonald's.
please.
I was at McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, this is how I'm eating a few days before I leave for Chicago is McDonald's.
You know,
no shame.
there's a lot of people who probably don't understand, but it's really hard with kids to eat healthy.
It really is. Yeah, it is because like you're running. I mean, your kids sound like they're just getting into sports and stuff. It's hard whenever you're running all the time and you work and.
Right. And it's like last night I was at hockey, but hockey is work. It was a late night, and I had a free pizza from Domino's, and I was like, I'm going to get a freaking pizza and eat it. And I ate the whole thing at 11:30 last night. And I felt amazing, and I felt good and happy and full and went to bed, but that was not a smart move for my 220-pound frame that I'm trying to get back to Ironman weight when I was 198.
No. Well, that's only a few pounds off.
Yeah, only a few, 22 more pounds.
You'll be fine.
That's not much.
I'll get there. I'll get there again. But the best part is I still am running and I'm still doing the sports and I feel okay.
Consistency is key. That's how the food is just a separate mindset.
And if you do try for an Ironman one day, don't worry about nutrition because you're just hungry all the time. Just
Right.
eat, run, bike, swim, strength train, sleep.
My husband will be, when does kids and family come into play? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but sacrifices. We all make them. I picked a venue that I thought my wife and my daughter would like, and they did. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah. So
The family's got to feel like you want them there.
100%. And I'm trying to slowly. So here's a question. I'm trying to slowly do my workouts early in the morning. Are you a morning runner?
So I am a morning runner, but I'm just now starting to get back into my work routine because I took off all last year because of my treatments.
Mm-hmm.
So before I would get up and I was like that. I would try to run like 3 to 4 miles in the morning. And then in the evening, whenever the kids would go to bed, I would try to do 3 or 4 more on the treadmill. So I kind of like broke it up.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get back into the routine that I was in before, but I just had my last treatment actually September 9th. So I'm still like, my body's still not, I don't really know what normal is yet.
Well, let's get into that though. You kind of just let us in with your treatments. Let's talk about the beginning. So it's October and we're doing this whole breast cancer awareness month thing that I told you about, where we're trying to create some awareness and just talk and listen and hear stories about, these brave women like yourself who went through it. Let's get into the beginning of when you found out that you had, as I believe it's called, HER2 positive.
Yes, it's a so it's a HER2 protein that is, I mean, it's in your breast, it's in your, it can be in your bones, in your brain, like it just depends. Like, so you have these HER2 proteins in your body, and mine was HER2 positive, hormone negative. So I didn't have any hormone cancer. So it's kind of like if you have a hormone cancer, sometimes it's the reoccurrence, it's less likely or whatever. I don't know. But so I found out I had HER2 positive in July of 2021. Whenever I found out, I was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hadn't made it to a mammogram yet because I wasn't 40. And I actually felt it. And I felt it, and I had like a hard chest day like the day before, and I was like, maybe I pulled a muscle, and then it never went away. It didn't go away within a month. And then I thought, well, maybe it's a clogged duct. I don't know. I was not thinking cancer. And so my nephew ended up getting killed in a coal mining accident. I was going to go to the doctor on my first day off of school, which was like June 2nd. And June 1st, my nephew got killed in a coal mining accident. So it kind of, my family was already, you know, it was a tragedy. So we were trying to like get through that. And I didn't want to cause anybody else any more hurt and pain. So I waited until he got laid to rest, which because he got killed at work, it took like 3 weeks or something like that, 2.5 weeks to get laid to rest. And I went to the doctor after, and that's whenever I found out I had breast cancer. So
that is a doozy of a month for you. I am so sorry to hear about your nephew and just that news on top of it. That is not a good time.
Yeah. Just because like in my mind, like whenever the lump didn't go away in my mind, I was, this is probably cancer. And I didn't like, you know how like you always like try to think like the best. Well, I tried to like think the best for like a month and a half, and it didn't go away. And I was like, yeah, this is probably not good. And so I ended up getting diagnosed with HER2 positive in June. I started my treatments September the 9th of 2021, and I went through chemotherapy, double mastectomy with reconstruction surgery. And so it was like 17 total treatments of infusions, and I just finished this September 9th.
So an entire year you had to deal with that. Oh my gosh. That is insane.
And like nothing really stopped. Like I got a double mastectomy in February, on February 24th. And I went to the infusion center like 2 days later. Like it didn't stop because of surgeries. It was like, it had to be consistent. And then I had, during treatments, I still had to do 33 rounds of radiation.
33.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot, right?
That is a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
How far in between your, like how often did the radiation have to occur?
So radiation was every day, 5 days. That wasn't on the weekends. And my treatments were every 3 weeks. So every 21 days I had a infusion treatment, chemotherapy. And then I had radiation every day for 33 days.
Wow.
So it was like almost 7 weeks of radiation.
That is a lot to handle.
So when you're doing it 5 days in a row, how are you in between sessions? Are you able to go home and exercise and feel okay, or are you like tired, worn out? What's going on then?
Okay, so whenever you like chemotherapy, my first 6 were very intensive. So the first 6, I would go to chemotherapy. It was like 8 hours long. It was like forever long. I was in there all day.
Wow.
And then I'd be there, and I would meet my mom because my husband would be home with the kids and doing sports and stuff. I would walk with my mom after chemo. And then for about 7 days, my exercise was just walk. Like I would set a goal. You're going to walk 1 mile or, 2 or 3. And then I would finally build up enough strength, and I would ride my bike. And then I had about 3 days before treatments where I could actually like run a little bit, but it was pretty tough. So I had my last intensive treatment after Christmas. And then I started 11 treatments, but they were like not as intense. They were more targeted. Those just made me nauseous for about 5 days. And I was able to, so like whenever I say feel good, it's like I was able to function in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit better. But then radiation knocked me on my ass. So radiation was fine until about number 13, and then I just got so burnt it hurt to like put a sport bra over my armpit.
Oh.
And it just made you so tired. It's terrible what people have to go through to live.
Oh my gosh.
And even now, like so my last radiation was in end of May, and to put on deodorant, it still hurts under that side. And then to like put a sport bra down, if I don't like stretch it out, it feels like it's like ripping my skin under my arm.
Oh my gosh.
So even though it's been like 6 months or so, it still really has the effects on you.
Yeah. I'm still super sensitive. I went through, it's called the Revital program. It's for breast cancer, double mastectomy patients. It's to help with like range of motion. But like when I lay flat, I still don't have like my full range of motion on this side.
Now, why do you think it's more on, it's your right side you're pointing at? Why do you think it's more on your right side?
Because this was the side I got radiated. Just my right side was radiated.
Was that the one where you found the lump?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said earlier, I wanted to ask, but you said maybe you felt like you pulled a muscle.
Right. Okay, so I'm small chested. Like I was barely a B cup. So number one, okay, whenever I got breast cancer, I was kind of like, I was embarrassed. Okay, so I actually told my general surgeon whenever he told me I had breast cancer, I was like, I'm so small. How can anything go wrong in there?
Oh.
I'm such a small chested person. But it just felt like my okay, so you're a man, and I don't know if you have kids. Do you have kids, Erika?
I don't have kids, no.
Okay, so it kind of felt like my milk, whenever it came in, like my breast would get hard. So like this side of the right side of my right breast felt like it just felt hard. And I was like, well, maybe I pulled a muscle. Like I was thinking anything but breast cancer for like a good month, just waiting for it to go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got you. I do the same with any kind of injury. Hopefully it's nothing big. I can just, wait a little bit and see if it goes away. Because
I was never a hypochondriac. Like I was healthy. I had 3 kids. I nursed all 3 kids. I've never smoked. I'm an asthmatic, so I never smoked.
They say nursing is supposed to, reduce the chance of getting breast cancer, right?
Yeah. Like having your kids before the age of 30 is supposed to reduce your breast cancer risks. Breastfeeding, not smoking, exercising daily, being in your normal weight range. I did it. And mine wasn't even hereditary because I got the genetic testing, like nothing in my genes showed up.
And so zero family history of it either then. So just kind of out of the blue.
Yeah. Yeah. It was out of the blue. So my mom's sister actually got or had breast cancer, but it was like later in years, and like she was a smoker, and I don't think hers was genetic either, but that's the only family history of breast cancer that I know of.
Well, sometimes it doesn't seem fair considering how healthy you were and you did everything right, but then sometimes you're the best person to get it because you're like that doesn't sound right at all.
No, I understand. Completely. Yeah.
Because like you're strong and you're motivated and you can beat this.
Right. Like I always said like my running journey is a blessing, because there was many of times like whenever I had kids and my kids were little, I felt bad for leaving and going running because I was leaving them, and I only went running like not on the treadmill, not like near my house, 1 day a week. And I would always feel bad whenever I would leave them, even though like I was only gone for a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that because I didn't quit running, it helped me through this. It helped me so much. Like I just feel like there was a reason why I didn't quit running, and there was a reason why I was a Girls on the Run coach and got motivated that way. Like I feel like there's a reason for everything, and just me running helped me get through this mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, just everything.
Oh man, that is just, it's incredible that you were able to keep it up through your whole journey. I mean, it's hard to put it into words. Just your strength is radiating off of you right now.
Like, I remember going through treatments and I would know, like, okay, I have about 3 or 4 good days where I can run. And I remember just like getting off the treadmill and I threw up a few times. And I'd get back on and just be like, okay, if you could just walk. Because exercise like helps your reoccurrence by like 60%.
Wow.
Like it's huge. It's huge. And I told my friend that, and she was like, Jackie, you've exercised your whole life. I'd be like, forget it. I'm not exercising anymore. I was like, I never thought of it like that. But just whenever my doctor told me, he was like, exercise helps. But then like, he was like, you're doing too much.
Oh, he had to tell you to back off? Oh boy. But quitting is not in your nature. I just met you and I can tell that you are not a quitter.
Yeah, he was like, you need to slow down a little bit. I've never thought I'd have to tell somebody this, but you do too much.
Mm-hmm.
He told me if I exercise, he was like, you are doing too much. Just slow down.
I did hear you did another podcast with someone who was in a medical profession.
Yeah.
And you said the doctor was like, usually you have to tell people that walking from your bedroom to the bathroom doesn't count as exercise.
Yeah, he was like, whenever I first went in, and he said, if you exercise during your chemotherapy and radiation, it helps with fatigue and stomach issues and like neuropathy of your fingers and toes, like the tingling. Oh. And he was like, exercise. He was like, no, I want to be clear. Like whenever I say exercise, it's not from your chair to the bathroom or your bed to the bathroom, or taking a shower is not exercise. And so I was like, yeah, I would never think that. And then whenever I told him what I was doing, he was like, okay, so maybe a few days of like chair to bathroom would be exercise for you. Slow down. My doctor and I have a really good relationship. He's very personable.
Is this your doctor who like you've had for many years, even before?
No, this is my oncologist. Yeah.
And so when did you meet him?
I met him July. It was probably like July 20 something of 2021, whenever he told me that I had breast cancer and the type. And whenever I first met him, I just felt like I'm at the right place. Sometimes like, whenever you're under a good care team, and I felt that at my hospital.
Yeah, you need to have somebody you can trust on your side. So that's great. Especially when he can tell you, Jackie, you're at a 10. I need you at about a 2.
Right.
That's definitely good.
And like, it's so odd whenever you walk into, the cancer center, and everybody you see is older. And then you're there and you're like, why?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'm like, like, I'm glad God has confidence in me, but damn.
He's testing me? Ooh, is he?
Yeah. Like, I'm just like, he wanted to knock me down a few notches. I was getting too good.
Oh.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, he tested the person who had him beat already on day 1.
I don't know. It's been a journey, but if I could tell anybody, like, you have more strength in you than you ever knew. Like, even whenever you think you can't handle something and you're so sick and weak, like, just getting up and taking that walk. Sometimes I would just get up and take a walk outside, and I would just be like, thank you, God, for giving me the strength to do this, because right now it feels like I could just not walk.
So, all right. So you just finished your last treatment less than a month ago, but you said you've been running, and you're training for a marathon. What else have you done? Have you done other races? Did you have other things in the spring you were working towards?
No. No, I focused on the Ragnar, and because radiation. So I did a half marathon when I was going through radiation. It was a trail race, and it was in April. And I started my radiation beginning of April. April 16th was my half marathon, and I did not run after that until June because I was so sore from radiation. I mean, radiation just burns the hell out of you. Like, I was burnt from my armpit down my breast. Like, it hurt to wear a shirt. It hurt for anything to touch it. Like, it was painful.
That's something I wouldn't think of, because you even said you couldn't put deodorant on. Like, that's one side effect or thing that you, like, yes, I don't know how to word that either, but that's just something that you don't normally think of as a side effect. Yeah.
So if you go on my Instagram page and go to my reels, I did one after I finished my radiation, and I have pictures on there of like how burnt I got.
Oh my gosh.
It might be that, yeah.
I think part of what she means is like when we hear of someone who has cancer, my friend just had cancer as well about a year ago. You think of things like, okay, you go through chemo, you lose your hair, or you lose a part of yourself because you lost a part of yourself there. It goes with every kind of cancer. You don't think of, it's not a minor thing, but you don't think of those things like the rash the radiation gives you or the other effects. You just think of the ones you see visually on the person.
Thank you.
Right.
That was more of what I was getting at. I couldn't get the words.
So the hardest part of me, like losing my hair, was worse than losing my breasts. And it sounds crazy, but like you can cover your chest up and nobody really knows, but like your hair, it's like wigs are kind of uncomfortable. Like I just lived in a toboggan and a hat, but like it's something that you can't hide.
I don't do wigs either.
You know what I mean?
And your head gets cold all the time.
So cold. I slept in toboggans. Yeah.
I've been doing this whole entire interview because it is so cold in Erika's house right now.
We haven't turned the heat on
in
yet.
my toboggan, which is also, that's something Southerners call this. They call it a toboggan. I just call it a winter hat.
Yeah, I call it a toboggan, and some people call it a beanie. People call it a beanie or something like that.
Beanies, yep.
A beanie doesn't have this fuzzy ball up top. I'm a big fan of the fuzzy ball.
Yeah. I just call them all toboggan.
Perfect.
It's a toboggan. When I lived in North Carolina, someone said like, "Oh, Eric's got the toboggan," and I'm like, I'm thinking the sled. The long sled that 4 or 5 people can fit on. That's a toboggan.
Right. I don't know. It's like I don't know whoever comes up with these names of things.
It's a weird, like, northern, southern, western. We all have our little things. So
our
different
words.
and funny. But I knew what you meant.
Our slang.
I got to keep this head warm just like you do, but, so.
Back is kind of like, I kind of got a lot of curls going on.
When did your hair start growing again?
Probably it really started growing end of February, beginning of March.
So we're talking about half a year of growth right there.
Yeah. So. There's Ty. That's my youngest son. He's 7.
Oh, your son.
Yeah, I have 2 daughters and then I have a son.
He plays sports too?
So he's starting basketball.
Hi, Ty.
What's up, Ty? Hey, my son's name is Tyler. We call him Ty as well.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just Ty.
Yeah.
Just TY.
What's up, buddy? You play basketball?
Yeah.
That's probably smart. If you were like me and played hockey, you'd look like this.
Oh, he's missing a tooth.
I'm missing 2 teeth.
2 teeth.
That's his party trick.
Yeah, Erika says that's my party trick. It's right. It's my Halloween party costume every year.
There you go. You don't even have to pay for it. Well, I guess you do have to pay for your teeth.
One day I'm going to get all 4 teeth replaced up front, and that's going to be a big bill too.
Oh, I'm sure. Almost more than your dog's ACL.
Oh, it's about the same, if not more. You're right. So
Probably. Yeah.
Ty, how old are you, buddy?
How old are you, Ty? Tell him.
7.
7? Oh, cool. My daughter's 6, so
Oh.
yeah, she'll be 7 in March.
Oh, okay. He'll be 8 in December.
Okay, cool. You okay, so what else do you do? Anything fun outside of basketball, or do you run?
No, I ride my 2-stroke.
His dirt bike. He calls it a 2-stroke because it's a racing bike.
You got a dirt bike?
Yeah.
I'm 37 and I've never got a dirt bike.
I had two.
He has
You have
two.
2 dirt bikes.
He's so jealous of you.
I am. Oh,
Right.
my parents never would let me get one. They're like, nope, it's too expensive. But really what they meant was it's too dangerous.
It's too
No, they would say the opposite. It's too dangerous. But really what they meant was it was too expensive.
Both of my dirt bikes were like in the 200s. I don't know.
We'll keep it at that. He did his first race back in July, I think it was.
You race
No,
dirt bikes. That's so cool.
Yeah. He did one race. We'll see about another one. It's scary. It's not for me.
It's I'm gonna learn it too. But from what I hear from people is like every sport they do is a little scary, and it's my boys might play hockey. That's my wife's like I referee college hockey, so.
Okay.
She went and watched me referee a game a long time ago, and she said 2 things. One, I didn't know you could skate backwards. And I'm like, that's kind of important to ref college hockey. Right. And then she goes, 2, our kids will never play hockey. It is so rough.
It is. It's scary. That puck just goes flying.
Yeah, I don't think she knows. My dad is blind. No, she does know. My dad is actually blind in his right eye from a hockey puck.
Oh my goodness.
So I got the teeth. He has the eye. Yeah.
When did you lose your teeth? I don't think I've ever asked you.
I had the fake teeth before I met you in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this was like a high school thing.
Yeah. It was actually like a street hockey thing.
Oh.
Yeah, but just fooling around.
Whoa.
So, but yeah.
He actually did run with Morgan, or like a local running for kids. He joined like a group in the spring. Remember that? You ran, it was like a track class or something with the local running group here.
Well, that's super cool. Well, Ty, I know you got 2 big sisters, right? They're kind of close in age and they're really competitive.
Yeah.
Right? Be a good little brother and beat them.
We can stop there because that's not going to happen.
Well, buddy, hey, thanks for saying hi, man.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
He's awesome. No, I love it. It's really fun because we kind of get to know our guests a little more that way. That's awesome. And I edit and I might keep part of that in but
okay.
It's
this is
fun.
real life.
Yeah, it is real life. I mean, every day. That's why I come to her house to do this. But sometimes we record virtually and then I'm like, I'm in my bedroom sitting on the bed doing this and I'm like, oh, the door's opening. And it's opening so slowly, and my daughter peeks her head in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were peeking around the corner, and I'm like, no. Oh, well.
They're great. Your kids are perfect, so don't worry about it. Let's get into, because we are kind of lost, let's just get into, okay, so it's summertime. You finished radiation in the late spring.
Yes.
And now you're thinking Ragnar and Chicago. So how were you able to get back into your training?
Okay, so I ended radiation in May, but I didn't run from about April 16th. I think my first run was June, I don't know, June 2nd or 3rd. It was like that first week in June, but it was seriously like a mile. Like I had to slowly build. And then around July, I started to feel a little bit better. And so I was able to run, 5-6 miles. And then really just recently, probably in August, middle of August, I started to feel like less sore, like the sport bra didn't bother me much. It was just such a slow process of like getting better. Like, cause I would do the smallest thing and be so tired, it just wears you out.
It just goes to show how much determination you have to build back up to where you were. And I know it's going to take some time, but the fact that you are taking the time for yourself to do that, it's just, that is such a good thing to do.
I told my friend tonight, actually at the cross country meet, we were talking about it. And I told her I was kind of glad that like Chicago and Michigan happened because it gave me something to work for. Like I set a goal. Mm-hmm. Because I really think that if I didn't have those 2 things, I wouldn't have pushed myself. Mm-hmm. Like it was something to work for.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's kind of just, if you have it on your calendar, if it's coming up, if you signed up, you go ahead and you do it, or you do whatever you can to get to there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got that in less than a week.
I know. Yeah. Now I'm just like, my goal is to finish. I'm not working. Like, I'm not going to say I'm going to PR. You know what I mean? Like, to cross that finish line, knowing everything that I've been through the past year, and it's going toward a foundation that I feel so strongly for. I think that I'm probably going to be crying. So,
well, for good reason.
Yeah, it's just something that's going to be, it just means a lot to me, to say that I did this. And my friend and I, she has stood by me the entire time that we have done our fundraisers and t-shirts. Like, she's helping me, even though she's not running, she's still such a part of it.
This is Kristen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The basketball star who tore her ACL to a fifth grader.
Right. She's going to kill me. I want you to know this. I'm like telling you guys.
Hi, Kristen. Thanks for the laugh.
We love you, Kristen.
So, do you know what corral you're starting in on? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
It's on Sunday, and I think it's L.
Okay. Where are you starting?
I'm in D. So we'll have to. I'll try to meet up with you if you.
Fast. Yeah, you're in the fast one. Goal?
Well, I ran a really good London, and that's why I got into the fast corral. But my time has been significant. Well, it's been slower. But I would like to do. I'll say better than a 4:34 because that's my last Chicago time that I did. So if I can do any better than that, I'll be happy. But I'm going to be stuck with all those people who are way faster than me, and I'll be like, bye, at the end of the first starting wave, and maybe everybody else will catch up with me, so I won't feel so bad.
I think that was about what my Pittsburgh marathon time was.
Very nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll have to track you. I hope they got some type of tracking system and I can follow both of you.
They do.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to track the two of you. When this comes out, the race will actually already be over. So maybe when your episode comes out after, Erika and I will talk about Chicago, and hopefully by then she, will have at least some photo evidence, a photo of the two of you or something. It will be, I'm going to put the pressure on her right now. It will be her goal to find you after the race, or at least some point, because we know you're ahead.
Okay.
I would love to meet up with you, Jackie. Absolutely.
Yes, please do. We're actually having a meetup at the Bean. You should come to it.
What day? On the Sunday?
On Saturday.
I would love to.
Yeah. So I am really good friends with a guy who makes running t-shirts. It's called For the Run.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually one of his shirts, but I have all of them. They're like he has one that says nobody cares, work harder. Every runner counts. It's race week, mother.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. I have all of his shirts. So there's a group of us that are Instagram friends, and we're all going to meet up, and I'm going to meet up with a few breast cancer survivors that I've come really close with. So
that's so awesome.
I want to tell you, that's how I found you. There is a woman
because of Jaye, right?
And I don't even know her personally, but we followed her on Instagram, and then all of a sudden she started posting about what was going on. And then I saw she shared a post or a congratulatory post for you. Must have been on September 9th.
Yeah, it probably was, because I made a reel.
And we already had this kind of planned, we want to do this and we want to get a few women on to interview. And I'm like, we got to get this girl, Erika. And then I shot you the Instagram message. And you said yes right away. Yes. So we don't know. We have yet to meet Jaye. I hope we will soon. We're going to run in a 5K. Her friends are hosting a 5K for her. It is called the 5K for Jaye, and we'll be there.
I signed up for it.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Wait, are you going to be there?
No.
Oh.
Virtually.
Oh, okay.
You know how crazy people would think you just went to Michigan to run a Ragnar, then you went to Chicago, now you're going to New Hampshire.
It sounds normal to Erika.
I don't really travel that much. You just caught me on a weird.
So that's how we found you, though, and I'm so excited about it. And I'm like, I want to get you on because, and I want to talk. We want to talk to Jaye someday too. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. It's tough because you don't know. I know you've been gone through it for a year and a half now, but she's right in the beginning of it. And
she's right. Yeah, she's in the thick of it. Yeah. I've become really good friends with her on Instagram. Hopefully one day I'll get to meet her.
And I really appreciate and it's how much she's sharing her story already just on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And not everyone has to do that, but she's doing it. And it's you're right, she's a fighter.
Yeah, I think like years ago, before social media became what it is, people really didn't talk about breast cancer. You know what I mean? It was kind of like something that, like, I even talked to my oncology nurses and they're like, it used to be something that was just kind of like personal, hidden, not talked about. But now it's like we have so much support and, information and research and stories and journeys. Like, it's just so nice to know that there's other people out there around our age, younger, older, going through the same story, and that there's so much hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah. She's something. She's really nice. I really like Jaye.
Well, I hope when you get to meet her that you come up here, and then I hope maybe I can meet you because I think you're going to meet her in a couple of days.
He's going to be jealous.
We'll have to definitely try. We'll meet at the Bean. I'll send you our meeting place. I think there's a ton of us.
Please do. I just followed you on Instagram, so you can send it to me through there.
Okay, I definitely will.
She's Eham Shazam.
Eham Shazam.
East Hampshire? Or New
Hampshire? You'll see it.
Yeah, just look on the thing. It's fine.
We got two more questions for you. They're completely off topic. Okay. One, I was scrolling through your Instagram.
Yeah.
I found a picture, and apparently you have a fear of snakes.
Oh my gosh. I hate snakes.
What happened the other day?
So my daughter wants to tell you something. Real quick though, because we're on the time.
I was dribbling basketball downstairs in the garage, and I thought a worm was a snake. So I was standing down at the bottom of the steps. She was taking a nap. I was screaming for like a good 5 minutes. She wouldn't answer me, so I had to call her. She came running downstairs. The snake was as big as my pinky. She started screaming on top of her lungs, and she called my dad, and my dad thought it was probably 6 foot, but it was only that big. And we found out it was a worm.
I was like, it's a tiny snake. I know it's a snake. And he was like, it's a worm. Huge fear of snakes.
Well, I could see how that would freak you out. I would be the same way. Oh,
yes.
Man. I do that with spiders. Anything more than 4 legs, I don't really care for. But
right. Yeah, me either.
Erika's got a big last question, and I'm sorry, unless you saw my email earlier, I did not prep you for this question.
So feel free to think about it if you have to. But
right.
We started our own Spotify playlist, and it's compiled with songs that just kind of pump us up, get us in the mood, anything inspiring. Just what song would you add to our playlist that either got you through your treatments or just brightened your day? Anything you would want to add?
Okay, so I love Shine Down. I don't even know who.
Yes. I've seen them 3 or 4 times in concert.
No way.
They're amazing.
That's so cool.
We have the coolest little concert venue here called the Hampton Beach Casino. I've seen them at least twice there. Sky's show in Manchester. I saw in front of 50,000 people. And he's climbed all the way up the scaffolding singing Simple. Was it Simple Man?
Oh, that's such a good song of theirs. Yeah, because they redid it.
They are amazing. I love them. I haven't seen them in a few years, but yes, continue. Okay. This is great. This is going well.
All right. So Daylight. It's one of their new ones.
Okay.
Daylight. I will find it.
And then they have another one that got me through. It says Get Up. Get Up.
Yes, I heard that one. That is new too.
Yeah. So anything Shine Down, I am obsessed. I wanted to go see them, but it happened that they were close to us on my last treatment day, and I knew that I wouldn't feel good.
All right, Jackie, you get 2 songs on our playlist.
Okay, perfect.
Look at that. Well, your daughter, was that the oldest one or the youngest one?
That was the oldest.
Okay, bring her back. Bring her back.
Allie, go get your sister real quick. Hurry up.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, basketball's coming up, right? You're playing with your sister?
Yeah.
You can't let her beat you.
Not at this. Not at this. I told her, I was like, you're not practicing much. What if she does beat you?
Hey,
boy.
in the race, wide elbows.
Oh no.
Don't give her any ideas. I told her if she brings it up at school, I'm gonna get us both suspended.
That's my blooper. Hey, Allie,
my life.
you're a great big sister.
Oh, that's so funny.
Hey, so I'm the oldest of 3 as well. And my brother would always be like, I scored more goals than you. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm the one who set you up every time.
There you go.
So she's only learning from you.
Yep, that's right.
Well, hey,
That's right.
Jackie,
Yes.
thanks so much for coming on. This was
no
so much
problem.
fun with your kids all around too. It was great. This is a blast.
We really appreciate you spending time with us. Your whole family, basically. This is a blast, an absolute
We
blast.
just need your husband next time and the family
I know,
dog or
he's
something.
He's like, I gotta go to Lowe's. I'm like, really?
Convenient. Nah,
Right?
it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thank you guys very much. This was fun.
absolutely. I'm so glad it turned out the way it has. So thanks again. Good luck. Keep in touch.
Send me those messages.
I definitely will.
Yes. And if you ever need anything, let us know. If you're ever in the area, hit us up.
Okay, perfect. I would love to come there and run. I just want to see what it's like up northeast. So
It's fun.
You got to do it around the fall. Definitely wait until then. Next year.
Right.
Next year will be best.
Yeah, I told Kristen, I was like, you can pick a marathon anywhere whenever you get better and we'll do it. And I'm just hoping that she picks northeast.
I can come up with some suggestions for you guys if you're looking for stuff. So I'll think of some good stuff.
Yeah, my daughter wants to say one thing. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're at Pittsburgh. We're running around chasing her everywhere. And then after she's done, she's like, look at that, we're all so tired. She's like, let's go do this and this and this. And Dad just goes, Jackie, what is going on here? And then we just drove all the way home after that.
Hey, spectating is a sport too.
But the
Yes, it is.
adrenaline after a marathon is real.
It really is. Like sometimes you just feel like you're dying, and then other times you feel like you just won the race of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, your kids are great. Guys, your mom's awesome. Very amazing, brave woman. So you're very lucky to have her as a mother.
Thank you very much. We try.
Let's give it up for Jackie. Oh, you are such a sweet, sweet person. And I apologize for not being able to meet up with you again out in Chicago, but I wanted to give you a huge congratulations while we're on the topic on your finish at Chicago. I am so, so proud of you, Jackie. Congratulations.
Nice job, Jackie. Listen, I am going to, figure out how I'm going to discipline Erika later for not meeting up with you. Major fail, major fail.
I can blame you because you weren't there to manage my time. So,
well, you know what?
You were too busy camping.
I'll accept that because maybe in the future I can start traveling to some of these with you when I travel less to hockey rinks all around New England.
I'm telling you, man, you're gonna love these big, big races. They are something else.
I can't wait to do it one day. I can't wait to go and travel and do more destination races, and that might be years away. But that will be a lot of fun. Like, I'll let the build-up happen, and maybe I can do one big one a year. Like, what were we talking about, the one we want to do next year? Oh, that was the Disney, the Dopey.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that's, we'll see the timing.
Well, you're already going to Disney, so.
We just recorded with Justine and Nicole, and that was amazing.
So much fun. So much fun.
They're going to be next week's guests. You might have heard them earlier doing a little promo, but again, we've mentioned before the 5K for Jaye is on the 23rd. It's a race they're putting on, and we talked to them, and they told us all about what it's like to put on a 5K, and they talked a little about themselves and more about Jaye and how they all met, and it's really great because they kind of met, we'll just say, it's kind of like online dating, but it's more like Instagram dating. You'll hear about it next week.
It.
They were fantastic. They were the perfect friends.
Seriously. So like you mentioned, that race is coming up on October 23rd. You can run in person or virtually. So if you can't make it, at least do it virtually.
And if you can't make it and you're not even a runner, but you just listen to a running podcast because,
you still donate.
Right, you can still donate. They have a Venmo. It's at 5K for Jaye, but 5 is FIVE. All this stuff is going to be on Instagram. You can follow them too, but we're going to be there. They talked about huge raffles. They had many big companies, like I think Brooks was Runner's Alley was another, giving them like $100 worth of gear and stuff that people can win at these raffles.
There's going to be awesome raffles, yes.
So the 5K for Jaye is going to be great, and I'm super excited. But you mentioned camping.
You mentioned camping.
Well, you mentioned it, and then I mentioned it.
Yes.
It was fun. We did there's this roller coaster through the forest at Gunstock. And it's a blast. It goes, and it was perfect because it was fall foliage. So you're going through it's like peak right now. We're peaking. Mm-hmm. We're there.
Oh, I saw it on the airplane today. It was beautiful.
Well, what I wanted to tell you was our neighbor at the campground was a pig.
Wait, what?
Exactly. We had this woman next to us, and she lives in her Chrysler minivan, travels the country with her miniature pig. And you would think a miniature pig is a little pig, right?
I got so many different thoughts when you said. All right, just continue.
This miniature pig, I'm doing miniature with the quotations.
Air quotes. Yeah.
Was like 300 pounds.
In what world is that miniature?
Right? That's what I thought. And then the other crazy thing is his name. You'd think you'd get a cool name like Wilbur, from Charlotte's Web.
Yeah.
Pig's name was Kevin.
You know what? I almost like that more. That's hilarious.
So we got to meet Kevin. And so this woman lives in her van, and we're like, it's kind of cold. Does the van do you have a heater or whatever? She goes, oh, no, he keeps me warm.
She cuddles with Kevin at night?
She cuddles with Kevin every night.
Oh, my God.
I got pictures. I'm going to share them.
Okay, I was going to say, I almost cannot imagine how this works out. I'm thinking like a little minivan, but is this like one of those big vans? Did she convert it into like an apartment or what?
Well, yeah, just like my minivan, but the back seat's gone and she has like a mattress there or something. Yeah.
That is difficult.
So this is the beauty of your podcast. I'm going to send you, the listeners don't get to see it, but they can check the Instagram. I'm going to send you a picture of the pig.
All right, I'm waiting for it.
All right, here we go. Boom. There it is. I took this photo through the window of the camper.
How are you sending it to me?
Messenger.
Oh, Eric sent a photo. Okay.
Zoom in on that guy.
Wow.
He has a harness and everything too. She walks him, takes him for walks.
That is bizarre. I mean that's cool. Did your kids love him?
The boys wanted to go. The girls wanted to go too. They all wanted to go, but she was like, "No, please keep your distance." So we respected that. We kept our distance. We still talked to her, but she's like, "Nope, he's please don't pet him." She views him as a guard pig, like a guard dog.
Really?
Right. Yeah, that's how she views the pig, and he protects her. And I'm like, I think he draws more attention, but it was so cool. It was really cool. And she travels the country. They've been together for 5 years, traveling the country. They've been to like 40 something states. I forget the number she told me, but they spent a lot of time out west, and they just go around. And she says she's in New England for the fall because of the foliage. And then she's going to visit some family who live in Massachusetts. And she was cool. I mean, a much older lady, just traveling with her and her pig. Anyways, so fun weekend camping.
That's awesome. Is this your last weekend camping before, for the end of the year, I guess?
Oh, it is, unless you tell me anything different about windmill, haymaker, whatever it's called.
You are very bad at remembering the name of this. Hamster wheel, yeah. So I was up in the air about it just because I wanted to see how my hip would do after this marathon. Hip is feeling great right now. But I'm so undertrained for a 24-hour ultra race. I really have to noodle on it.
Well, you keep noodling. You got a couple more weeks, and the camper has not been winterized yet. So if you do it, we'll be there with the camper. I'll have to block my hockey schedule now that I think of it. November 5th and 6th, right?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's the same weekend as New York City, which a virtual friend of mine, Stephanie Swan, is going to be running, I believe, for the first time. So good luck to you, Stephanie, for New York City. But I mean, yeah, I don't want to further injure myself, but I don't know. I want to see what I can do. I feel like I could walk a lot of that and maybe get away with some high mileage. So I don't know. Maybe we can have a brainstorming session and try to figure out some logistics.
It's up to you. Your call. It's your race. Your call.
I know.
If you didn't do it, would you be still able to defer?
See, I don't know how it works with that. Ultra sign up can be weird, but plus it's a very small company and I don't want to cheat them out of money. So
Sure.
if I don't do it, I would probably just forfeit, but
You're
it
good
wasn't
people,
super
Erika.
expensive.
You're good people, Amsterdam.
You know what? I understand, especially after talking to Nicole and Justine, how difficult it is to set up a race like that and what it puts in.
Don't tell them. Let them find out next episode.
Well, I'm not giving details, but but it's not easy and it does cost money. Well, maybe not for them, but in general, it's like to put together a big event. So
There's a lot that goes into it, yeah. So
I don't want to cheat anybody out of it. I mean, it's my own thing if I drop. So I'll keep thinking on it.
it was a great interview with Jackie. I loved it.
Oh, yes.
Had her kids. We talked about everything. The story, her talking about her friend with the ACL, that was hilarious. At one point, she goes, "Oh, she's going to hate me. We're talking so much about her," but it was fantastic. We'll have to hear how the recovery goes there. It actually, remember, I mentioned my dog had ACL surgery.
Yeah.
And it cost $10,000. So you know this, but the listeners don't. My dog passed away back in February. She was becoming an old girl. So the ACLs were like 9 years ago. When they learned, this woman comes to the house to put the dog down. I think that's the correct way of saying it. And I'm bawling my eyes out. I am so sad. She asked me questions about the dog, try to get me to talk and try to just get me to tell her about my dog, Tuka. And I mentioned like, I got a dog and it was great. And then all of a sudden she needed ACL surgery and it was $10,000. And I was like, oh my God, how can I do this? $10,000, $5,000 for each. And she goes, oh, she has ACL surgery. And she goes, do you want the hardware? And I'm like, what do you mean the hardware? She goes, well, usually when they get cremated, anything like that, the hardware doesn't burn. Would you like it? And to be honest, it's right over there.
You still have it?
Well, Tuka's right there. You can't see this, but Tuka's about 4 feet to my right. But just next to it is this little lunch baggie with 4 screws and 2 like other things, and that was her ACLs. And I take the little bag and I go, right here, this is $10,000.
Wow.
These 4 screws and these 2 other brackets, $10,000. So
you're paying for the expertise of the vet surgeon. So
I got her.
It is a lot.
Yeah, I have her. I have her ACLs with me too, as well as with her ashes right there. So yeah, I miss my girl Tuka, but yeah, I don't want to end this podcast on a sad note. Give me something good. Give me something good, Erika. Save this podcast.
Yeah, man. I don't know how to turn this around. Oh, you know what? How's Scott?
I just talked to him. He did
When?
no like before we did the open earlier today. I talked to him. I drove to his house thinking he would be home. He's still in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
So
how long has he been? When did he go? When did he get there?
He went like September 10th. He was there for a whole month
down
before.
there for that long?
Yeah. And he's still there.
Must be nice.
He's there for another week. So he's enjoying. I set my alarm, but I couldn't even sleep. I laid in bed kind of just like following on the tracker. And then at like 1:15, I got up and I went downstairs and watched on YouTube and watched him finish. He looks so good, but I don't want to give much away, but I'd never heard from him for like 18 hours after the race. And I get a Snapchat from his daughter the next day around dinner time here. And it's a Snapchat of him and her, in the hospital, and he was in the hospital bed, and he goes,
No.
well, man, I pushed it just a little too hard.
Oh, Scott.
So I sent a response and said, I hope you're better, and I don't want to know anything else until you're back and we record it, because I want to hear it for the first time.
I want to hear it for the first time. But I just have to say thank you for sending me the link to the live stream, because I got to see the female finishers, and that was awesome.
USA back on top.
USA.
First American woman to win since like 95. This was great. It is 10:23 p.m. on Tuesday night.
I'm freaking tired.
And yeah, you had a long day because you traveled, and I got to finish editing this podcast and put it out so the people Wednesday morning can
You
hear
got your work cut out for you.
Jackie's episode.
Mm-hmm.
So that was great. Fantastic interview with Jackie. We just did another fantastic one with Justine and Nicole. Jackie, you were amazing. Like I said, probably top 3 so far.
We can't thank you enough for coming on and talking to us.
Yeah, can't wait to talk to you more. Like I feel like we created a new friendship right there.
Absolutely.
If you want to follow us, we are on Instagram. We're at On The Runs. And if you want to email us, you can send us an email. Our email address is ontherunspod@gmail.com. So that's my spiel. Erika, take us home.
You guys know the drill. And it's even more important now after marathon. Don't forget to stretch.
So what do you want? Like, how far do you want me to go? And
just
then
say, hi, I'm
over?
Justine, and I'll say, hi, I'm Nicole, and I'll take over.
Oh, okay. I like this.
I got it already figured out. This is why I'm the Yam Pair Yang.
Yes. Oh, I'm supposed to go. Sorry. I thought you were leading in with something.
He's literally
I'm not cut out. I'm not cut out for radio life. What's that?
Good thing you're pretty and go on TV. Like,
oh, yeah.
So, like,
this is as far as it goes.
You know, the thumbs up is like talk.
So what am I supposed to say again?
Hi, I'm Justine.
Oh, okay.
Can you do that as a blooper?
It's really past my bedtime. Yep. Okay.
Wait for the thumbs up.
Okay. Hi, I'm Justine.
And hi, I'm Nicole. We came on to... Nope. Do it again.
You guys are great. Keep it up.
Hi, I'm Justine.
And hi, I'm Nicole. We're hosting a 5K for Jaye, October 23rd in Chichester. Find us on Facebook or donate on Venmo.